Speak on what you're truly knowledgeable about, and don't put people in a loop of confusion. Once you start to give them advice or tips, tricks on how they can improve their life or get ahead in life with advice that actually doesn't make sense or that you don't truly know about. I feel like that's a lot of where pain comes from in our human society, is listening to false entities or false personas that are giving advice of events they're going through that they think would actually be helpful for others, or giving advice to events that they don't have actually a clue on. A lot of times you'll see people making videos on self-help and specific situations and how to combat them. And a lot of times you can just tell if the energy's off or if they're rambling a lot. A lot of information I'm not really sure about, or I don't really have too much knowledge on it, but I do my best not to give out information that won't actually be helpful to others. I try to always remember that if I'm to express my words or express wisdom that truly isn't mine, then I'm going to be setting them back even further, and they'll be more confused. They might become more depressed, more sad. This isn't to say that if you do not know something, don't go learn it. The bravest thing you can do, and the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself and someone else, when you don't know what you're talking about, or you want to start giving advice that you don't truly know, admit it. Okay, I don't really know about this situation. I don't know about this topic. So what are you going to go do? You're going to go learn. You're going to go grow. You're going to go expand. If you can just be honest with yourself and understand that not everything is something that you've learned so far. There's so many different things in the world to learn. So many different tasks, so many different objectives. You look at just one career path, right? Myself, I'm a designer. I get asked a lot of questions on Photoshop of how to do certain tasks. To this point, I know a lot about what I'm doing, but it still happens to where a coworker might ask me, do you know how to do this in the program? Let's say they want to brush a certain way. They want to paint a certain way to make it look like an oil painting. Now, painting is not my strong suit. I'm more of a graphics-based, shape-based person. So I have to say, okay, I actually don't know how to do this. Let's try to look it up together, and then we can both learn at the same time. Right? So that's just giving an example. My interns look up to me. The people I work with, they look up to me. That doesn't mean that I know everything. They might ask me a question and they might know a better way to do it than I do. So I have to take the humility, I have to take the courageousness to say, oh wow, now you're teaching me something. Let's learn together. You're helping me grow as well. A true leader admits when they don't know, admits when they have faults. I'm not saying to go around every day and say, wow, I don't know this, I don't know that, like making a list of it, because then you will seem like an unsure leader. However, when a situation is brought to you that you could learn from someone else who truly knows more knowledge than you, even if they're quote unquote under you, as we like to say in the United States when we're working in a job, take that opportunity to learn and grow. Your connection is going to be that much better, that much closer, tighter. It's going to be kindled like a bundle of sticks ready to set fire. Because I'm telling you, once you let it go, it lights up just like fire. And that's when your humility comes into full potential. Your courageousness to learn some things that you do not know. It rises to that next level. And just like I was saying, there's so many things in this world. We don't know all of them. But always strive to take the next step to grow. Take the next step to learn from others. So Whenever you're looking at media as well, do your best to discern when someone is truly talking in circles or someone is talking about something they truly know. It's easy to really spot someone who's talking in circles once you find the secret sauce, which is not too secret. So if someone's talking about spirituality and all of these different icons and figures, poses, practices, if they keep saying, "Oh, well, it'll just benefit you. Oh, well, it'll just benefit you," that's when I start to look at it and be like, okay, they're not going into the specific practices and techniques that they should know, in my opinion, because if you are a leader, you should know what you're talking about and what techniques to actually take. When people talk in circles, I'll give you an example. They'll be like, "Oh, what day of the week is it?" Right? A simple example. "Oh, the week? Yeah, it's been a pretty cool week. At the end of the week, I'm going to go take a trip on the beach. I'm going to go to the shore. It's good to get that sunshine on your face. That vitamin D. It's great. You gotta make sure you're staying healthy." Yeah, at the end of the week. Always talking around the actual question to the subject that you're trying to ask. So that's when you gotta discern and be able to know when someone truly knows what they're talking about or they're just talking in circles. And also be aware that not everybody wants to help you. Once you become aware of the world and you see, okay, this person actually seems like they just don't want to help me. So they might actually give me false information on purpose to keep me stuck or try to keep me set back. I'd like to come on here and it would be great to say that the world is all sunshine and rainbows. There's not devious people or heinous intentions behind tactics. However, there is. That's why you have to be so sure of yourself that you can figure out any situation that you're in. That's why you have to have a great circle of people around you. You're not going to have tens and tens of thousands of friends throughout your life. More than likely, when you're on a journey, a life path, you're going to only have about 5 or 6 people max that are going to take care of you to the utmost and really want the true best for you. Because that's not to say there's not millions of people through the world. But when you're on your life path and your life journey, it's hard to build exquisite relationships, deep connections, when you have to a lot of times look inward to where you are. And it's not a selfish thing. I don't look at it as being selfish, looking inward. Taking care of yourself is the first step to letting love into your life. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to let love come into your life? Let love flow through you and through your words, through your voice. The voice is very powerful. The voice is very magnetic. People can tell when you're speaking with love if they have a true ear, a true listening ear. And that's where we come back to it. That true listening ear, that true voice, that's all built up with time if you just speak on what you know and then gather the knowledge, gather the insight. Maybe you even need to gather the experience. If you have not gone through a situation someone's going through, maybe it just wasn't your time to do that. It hasn't been your time in life to go through that experience. You might know someone who has a great soul that can help them out in a better way. You're hired for a job, or you're being looked to hire for a job. You can't take that job because you're not experienced in the craft. I like to go back to what I know. So let's say you're a designer. You're getting hired to do a big company project where you're going to be animating. I never animated in my life, but I know animators. I know people I can bring into the circle to help feed their family, to help put food on the table for them, because they're trained in it. They have the knowledge of it. They're not going to go into a project just because they see the materialistic end point of the money that they'll get from it, or the gain that they'll get from it, the fame. They're going into it with a true ideal of Okay, I know what I'm doing. I've prepared for this. And a lot of times, even when you're prepared for jobs, there's going to be some areas where you might not know exactly what you're doing. That's okay as well. But if you have no clue what you're talking about or what you're going to get into, just step back. Always challenge yourself, though, in those areas too. Challenge yourself to take on a new task that's in your area, but you might have to learn a couple new concepts. You might have to learn how to animate a different way. You might have to learn how to coach people a different way if you're going to be the director or the manager of a production. So take time today to really sit back and reflect on, have I been leading people astray? Have I been leading people to righteousness, to where they should be? Am I speaking on things that I truly know, that I truly can give knowledge on or insight? Or have I just been talking? Let's help each other out. Speak on what we know. Leave the others out of the question. And if you can help with someone else who knows a reference to be that guiding light or that support for someone in need, then try to help them out that way.